That would include places like Lithia, Pinecrest, back toward Balm, and those areas in eastern Hillsborough County. So this, again, is the area that we're focused on. Not a surprise, because this line has really held together. And what this means, though, is if you're watching from Polk County and some of those spots that are not under the warning, places like Mulberry and Bartow, you're next in line. So not under a warning for you in Polk County, but you very likely will be shortly. Whether or not it becomes a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning, almost at this point doesn't so much matter, because we are still looking at some very strong wind that is in that particular line. And it looks like the strongest, again, I think what we're looking at here, Mike, is some of these smaller spin-ups that might be showing up right on that front line, and they don't really hold themselves together. It looks like that best one was when this particular area first started in North St. Pete, and then it's just kind of hanging on to some sort of rotational life, if you will, as it's moving toward the east. But this is the area that has prompted numerous tornado warnings in a relatively small area as it's moving toward the east.
Yeah, that is for Hillsborough County, but that is not for Tampa. It is south of you in Brandon. It is almost east of you in Sun City Center, and it includes Lithia, Pinecrest, Balm, these areas in eastern Hillsborough County. There's your warning polygon right there, and that goes to the Polk County line, and that's a new tornado warning, one of many that we've had today, and that will be in effect until 6:15, so about another 25 minutes on that. And also a tornado warning until 6:15 for southeastern portions of Polk County. And it looks like we're able to not sure what that is, but that's...
Well, the tornado watch is formally canceled now for Citrus, Hernando, Levy, Pasco, and Sumter counties. So that shaves off part of the area, but that, again, not a surprise as that leading edge is moving through. We could probably just about knock Pinellas County off that too, but obviously with a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect, which of course should be allowed to expire for Pinellas County any moment now. So Pinellas County, Pasco, Hernando, Citrus, not under the gun any longer for tornadic elements within these storms, but we're still going to have some gusty wind, heavy rain, and probably some lingering flood concerns in some areas as we go through the night. So the attention from a wind or tornadic standpoint remains in Manatee, Hillsborough, and Polk counties within our area at this point, and of course all adjacent waters to those locations. But the tornado warning right now, there are two of them, one of them in central or eastern sections of central Hillsborough County, and that is along the main line, and then the other one was some of those more isolated cells out ahead of it in eastern sections of Polk County. And I talked about the possibility of a cell merger there. It's probably going to happen in Osceola County, where we're going to see that particular one. That looks really nasty, though, by the way, over there near the Lake Wales area. Here on Klystron 9. So this is where we have that tornado warning for Polk County, and of course the tornado warning in Hillsborough County at this point along that line. And both of those warnings, by the way, expire at 6:15. And we've had plenty of reports of some tree damage as far as branches are concerned. We had a report of a damage to a gas station in North St. Pete, and that was also right around the same time that we got the indication here on Klystron 9 of the tornado first forming, and we also had a report of 75-mile-per-hour winds in that same location. So that is definitely something that we are looking at. We do have some video now that we could show you of some street flooding in St. Petersburg. Again, you can see some of these vehicles driving through that. These are on some main roads. Again, this is not necessarily a recommended activity, although a lot of people are doing it anyway, but that's something that can stall your vehicle pretty easily, and that is not a situation that you want to be in. As you can see, one of those looks like a smart car driving through. At this point, I'm not quite sure how that would handle about a foot deep of water on the roadway at this point, but we do have some flooding concerns across the area, and that's going to be an issue for us actually as we go through the night, because even though the rains are going to let up some with the very saturated grounds that we've had over the last couple of weeks, and then this first round of very heavy rain coming in, and then sort of a continuation of this steady rain going on through the night, we are going to see some flooding concerns. And we were sort of anticipating this beginning a little bit later, which of course would have been better for the rush hour concerns, but this pretty much timed out about as imperfectly as possible, Mike, with some of these heavier showers that have been rolling through between 4:30 and now approaching 6 o'clock, which is just about the worst time to have some of these storms coming in to the area. And of course not just some rain, but also some very heavy wind, frequent lightning that's been going on, which, by the way, the lightning has come way down. On a particular map here, we were looking at 1,000 lightning strikes. Now we're under 600, but we still have some blinding rain concerns out there and very greatly reduced visibility at this point.
All right, here's a wider view, and you can, again, we can see, very impressive how all this has come together today and produced severe weather across many parts of our viewing area. It looks like the worst is over in Pinellas County. It looks like the worst is over in western Manatee County. Still a tornado warning in parts of eastern Hillsborough County and southeastern portions of Polk County, also under these tornado warnings for a while longer. But the worst is over in a large part of the metro area. Here's the current frame, and you can see, let's go over into Polk County and let you see the storm that has the tornado warning up on it. That is an extreme southeastern Polk County right now, and there is that tornado warning. That storm is passing by frost-proof, and it's going to go off to the east of you in Lake Wales. So we're not too concerned about that storm in most of our viewing area. That's going to head over into the Osceola County area and over into the Orlando area. That is the storm coming by here, heading up across 60, and there has been a radar indication of a possible tornado with a hook on that for a while. But that does not affect the rest of Polk County. But there's another storm that's coming in across Polk County, coming in from Hillsborough County, and that storm is coming in right in there. So that is the storm coming in across Hillsborough County right now, and that has a tornado warning on it for eastern Hillsborough County. And if the control room could hear me, if we could come back in here, because my earpiece has just died. So if we could get Correll back in here, that would be great. So anyway, that storm coming in across eastern Hillsborough County, moving in towards Polk County, does have a tornado warning on it.
And also, we were talking about eastern Polk County. Let's go over to Clystro 9 in 3D. I was just taking a look at some of this, and again, it's not terribly impressive as far as its height is concerned. This is just sort of feeding off some of the low-level instability that we had with the heating today and the very strong winds and the shear in the atmosphere producing this tornado. Right now, let me get you a little better vantage point here. I'll zoom this out a little bit. You are looking here at the cell in southeastern sections of Polk County, and now I'll zoom in. And one thing we could look at here on Clystro 9 in 3D is the rotational element. And if this were something that were an extreme tornado situation, you'd see this column of blues and greens coming up through this particular area. But that's not the case. We just have some elements of rotation, some of it making it down toward the surface, and that is certainly enough to prompt a tornado warning in this particular area. So again, that is in the eastern part of Polk County at this point. Of course, the main line is certainly more impressive as it moves into eastern sections of Hillsborough County right now. Right now we will look here and you can see the big picture, and you notice the lightning here, 603 lightning strikes, and this is the lightning strikes of the whole map that you're viewing here on your television. And just a short time ago it was up to about 1,100 lightning strikes, so perhaps losing some of its luster, if you will, as it's moving eastward across the area. But still, now Polk County, let's focus on this now, Mike, because we do have some very heavy weather going on around Lakeland, and not under any kind of warning at this point is the Lakeland area, but I definitely don't want to leave you out wondering what's going on for you. Well, you're getting some heavy rain and some gusty wind. Nothing severe at this point. There's lightning in the area, and you'll probably see this type of activity for a time. However, just to the southwest of you, just south of Plant City, we do have an area of some very heavy rain that is going to be heading in toward town, perhaps on the south side of Lakeland, passing by near where the airport is there, the Linder Field, and then heading eastward toward Auburndale, and then eventually Winter Haven shortly thereafter. So you have some very heavy weather in Lakeland. If you're waiting for somebody to come home from work, it's probably going to be a little while longer before that occurs, because the rain is very heavy, and you can see 3/4 of an inch of rain at that's our weather sensor in Lakeland right now. So that's some pretty heavy rain, now up to 7,500. So 3/4 of an inch of rain has come in. Now, what is that? The
new tornado warning for Polk.
Okay, and that is for the storm that's moving in, or?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one from eastern Hillsborough County. So that's a tornado warning now for Polk County till 6:30, and that is basically for that line. So that's going to include places like Bartow and Mulberry at this point. It looks like that would be just south of Lakeland. So along Highway 60, any of those communities there between Mulberry and Bartow, heading eastward, perhaps toward the Lake Wales area if that holds together. And honestly, I see no reason why that wouldn't hold together. It's been holding together since St. Petersburg. So again, enough of a rotational element along that leading edge of the storms to be producing some type of higher wind in a rotational standpoint. But of course, we say this a lot. You know, if you have a 60-mile-per-hour tornado or 60 miles